Um,
All right, Warren First 931. I'm your host of the show, Kelly Walker Slaughter, alongside with
Brian Carr.
And again, we are live here in the amazing Tops Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli studios. And I love how we have everybody behind us walking, the crowd, just seeing all the cars and how busy it is. And again, I want to introduce my new bodyguard. Just recently came back from DC. And so, he did his training out there. So everybody knows. Plenty. And but of course, currently in downtown McMinnville, we are at 37 degrees. Today's high, of course, is going to be 54. Low tonight at 24. The rest of the week, we're going to be in the highs of the 50s and the 60s, which is amazing. The only thing that's going to be happening, I would say that would be bad, but good for the nurserymen this week, is the fact of it's a 55% chance of rain on Thursday and a 75% chance, I can't even say it today, chance of rain on Friday. So be wary, be leery of all that so you can be ahead of the game. But again, it does look like we're in that warm winter. Is that what we're going to call this?
Hey, we'll
Brian?
take the sunshine. And speaking of sunshine, today is National Blueberry Pancake Day.
Ooh.
So we really want people to enjoy those blueberry pancakes on a nice sunny day today.
Exactly. And if you need some good old fresh blueberries or frozen blueberries, you can get some frozen blueberries at Randall Walker Farms. They sell them.
Oh, wait.
Shameless little plug there. But with that said, we have so much on the show today. We have actually 3 guests coming on the show with us today, and I'm so excited about this. And so starting it off is our good friend, Stacey Harvey. Good morning.
Good morning.
I was like trying to tell myself, don't say Steve, don't say, because I always get you guys, I get the names mixed up because it's just,
That's okay.
Sorry.
Just remember A before E.
Okay. I love that. Oh, I love that. Okay. But with that said, he's going to be talking with us today about the inauguration. He was one of many of the folks here in Warren County that actually got to go visit it. They got to go see it. And again, just like everybody else we've talked to, it wasn't necessarily like the same thing like when he won back in his first term.
No.
So talk a little bit about it, like your experience when you went out there.
Well, in the disparity, I guess, between 2020 and 2021, the inauguration, and 2020, or that would be 2017, the inauguration in 2025, is our son marched with VMI in the inaugural parade there, and there was no such thing. Yeah. They really changed it up about 2 days before. And, we were ticketed we would have been just in front of the podium stage right. Mm-hmm. And that didn't happen. They moved it all indoors. And so on the phone as we drove back. So it was very disappointing. But it wasn't about me, and it wasn't about Debbie. It wasn't about any of us. It was about our president and making sure that he was safe, and he was. And there were hundreds of millions of prayers sent up for that, and they were answered. And that's all that really mattered.
My big thing is, do you think it was different because of the 2 attempts on his life?
100%.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was cold. Yeah. But it wasn't. We would have done it.
Yeah.
We would have done it. Those that were serious would have done it. We went prepared for that. I mean, we bought thousands of dollars worth of cold weather gear. I mean, we could have went to the Arctic Circle for that, and we would have.
Yeah.
And so it was about security, and I was still very worried about it. And there were three events. There was a candlelight dinner. Well, there were a bunch of events, but the ones that we were going to go to were the candlelight dinner on Sunday night. There was a rally on Sunday afternoon, and the candlelight dinner at 6:00 on Sunday night, and then the inauguration the next day. I had already made my mind up that I was not going to go to the rally because I felt like the rally was a target, and I didn't want to do that. And then when they took the rally into the Capital One Center in a confined space, I thought that's not smart. And then the post-inauguration executive order signing was in the exact same place. And so I felt like there was this little voice inside my head that said, don't go there. And so I didn't. And that same little voice kept me out of jail from January 6, 2021. So I paid attention to it then, and I wasn't going to go against it now. So I did. And, I don't regret it because, like I said, it wasn't about us. It was about him.
Yeah. Well, Stacey is a seasoned veteran when it comes to all things politics, local and abroad. And so we're very blessed. I work with him in different capacities, and I won't go into exactly all the different capacities because
I don't sit on his lap when he plays Santa Claus.
You're not one of those adults. Come on.
No, absolutely not. I do not sit on his lap when he plays Santa Claus.
But he does like that I wear red.
I do. I've got a gnome on my fireplace mantle, and just last night I was looking at that, and it says "Make gnomes great again," and it was a leftover Christmas decoration my wife didn't take down yet. And I looked at that. I said, "That's Brian Cole." So I'm actually going to bring that to you. I should have brought it this morning, put it right here.
Oh my
God! It looks exactly like you.
Listen, so you're telling this story, and I'm thinking, man. So I wanted to go to the inauguration. I wanted to take my children. But several months back, our youth minister came up to me and said, hey, we're doing this thing called Strength to Stand. It's going to be on the weekend of the 18th. When I was thinking inauguration, I kept thinking the 20th. Wasn't even thinking about the 18th. So I signed up. We paid money to go. And then I realized, that's the Martin Luther King holiday. That's the inauguration. And we're doing this. I said, well, God wants me to go to the Strength to Stand conference. It was great. But while I was there, I had a red toboggan on and a blue vest, and so we were taking pictures, and I let my hair out and everything. It looked pretty wild, and I was pointing at somebody, and all the kids said, "Oh my goodness,
Uncle Sam!"
Well, they called me Papa Smurf.
Oh, of course, yes.
or they said, "You look like young Nomi." so I've got these nicknames with our youth group kids, but no, similar situation in the sense that wanted the inauguration to go one way, went the other way, and that's okay because everybody's safe. Ultimately, 4th of July, and look, 2026 when we have the bicentennial and a half. Celebration, 250 years of the founding of this great country. It's going to be really exciting. You plan on going up for that?
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I did, and it's going to really depend on what our president does because we went in 2020. My family, I heard way early that President Trump was going to be at Mount Rushmore for July 4th, 2020, and that the Obama administration had outlawed the use of fireworks for the July 4th celebration at Rushmore. And I heard way in advance that he was going to go. So we booked an Airbnb, bought airline tickets and everything. And we just were, our whole family, we're going. We have no idea how we're going to get in. We don't know how any of that stuff works at all. And it just so happens our son's sitting on the airplane next to a guy that has a carload pass. And it's just he and his girlfriend. And they start talking and he said, we've got a carload pass. And I said, how about I rent a minivan and we all go? He said, it doesn't matter. He says, admit all. And so we rented a minivan, and all of us piled in together and went to that.
Aw.
And it was absolutely amazing. And I will tell you that the speech that he gave there that night, and everybody knows I'm a Trump fan, but I will tell you, there have been a lot of speeches given in American history by a lot of really prominent politicians, but that speech that he gave on July 4th, 2020 at Mount Rushmore was one of the greatest of all times, and nobody knows about it. He created national monuments. He created national parks. He spoke to America that night, and nobody knows about it. And I encourage anybody that can should go back, and you should really watch that. You should watch that speech.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was phenomenal.
I love it.
So to answer your question, it depends on where he's going to be. If he's going to be in DC, then I'm going there. And I guess he would be if 200. What was it? It was the 250 and a half? Is that what you said it was?
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah, it's going to be this 2026. We'll be celebrating 250 years.
Yep.
It's the founding of our country.
Yeah.
So,
So he's going to be in DC, so that's where I'm going to have to go. We got a daughter that lives in Alexandria. She's just going to have to move over, stay with her. So I'll be there.
all right. Well, hey, while we got you here, anything on the political front locally? I know you were in a real tough alderman's race, and there's been all kinds of things about that. And there's been a lot of stuff that goes on.
Mhm.
What's next for Stacey Harvey?
I got some plans. But I think one of the biggest things that we have going on, and this will become, it's already public knowledge, the people that are aware, the people that are affected with their know, is I'm filing a federal lawsuit against the Warren County Election Commission, the Warren County government, and then I'm filing a separate lawsuit against Trey Hargett, Secretary of State, because my First Amendment rights were violated because the local election commission refused to let me associate as a Republican candidate, and also refused to let the Republican Party endorse me as a Republican candidate based upon an erroneous interpretation of a state statute. And that, it was a 67 vote margin. And so I'm kind of pissed about that.
Yeah.
And I think that it is I think it's something that we've got to fix.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's a partisan office. And I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to fix it by whatever means necessary. I have 3 attorneys working for me. That suit will file. I thought it would file Monday, but we changed a few things. It'll file this week in federal court.
Oh, wow.
And then there'll be another one coming right after that that'll set some people's hair on fire. But that's just one thing I've got going. But I'm not done.
Is that because this is like local politics and it's not state?
Well, no.
Is that the way to ask it? I don't know.
Well, it's very confusing. Okay. So I'll give you my interpretation of it, and the way that I have understood it is that I believe the city charter prohibits partisan races in aldermanic elections. We all understand that. That's no problem. The problem is the local director of elections forbade me in 2020, forbade others in 2020 and 2022 and in 2024 from declaring themselves as affiliated with the Republican Party in any advertising medium. It forbade the Republican Party from endorsing these candidates. And so she basically said arbitrarily that you cannot associate with the party and the party cannot associate with you. And that's in violation of your First Amendment rights. And the law that she thinks she was interpreting, it never says that. The only thing that it gives her the authority to do is not put an R, a D, or an I by your name on the ballot. Okay. She has absolutely no authority outside of that, period. Yeah. And she extended herself way, way, way beyond the bounds of her office. And I don't think that that's anything new. Personally, I mean, I've dealt with it, and I think that that's a serious problem. And
we need clarity on it.
Well, we need consistency and we need conformity.
Yes.
Okay.
And if they don't know, if I ask them a question and they don't know, then it's their obligation to get the answer and give it back to me instead of taking her personal opinion that was absolutely not based on any fact of law, period. Because the statute clearly didn't say that. And there was actually a ruling in federal court in 2021 that clearly delineated that law. And she ignored that ruling. And so we're gonna get.
So
a
you
chance
and other people are on this as well?
there are two plaintiffs.
Okay.
There's myself and the Warren County Republican Party,
Okay.
because I was not allowed to identify myself as a Republican candidate, and the Warren County Republican Party was not allowed to endorse me as a Republican candidate. And there are other people that this has happened to as well. I haven't even spoken to them about
Okay.
joining this suit. I'm just taking it on
Yeah.
myself. I'm not trying to start a bunch of crap. I'm trying to finish it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I'm
and
trying
that's
to do.
one of the interesting things. Back in 2020, the state changed their laws about who could run as far as what parties are affiliated with parties. And that's why our school board officials were able to run on party platforms and be endorsed by parties.
Well, you're right. And then there's something else that's even more idiotic about that. So it's great that school board members can run. Do you know that in a city where there is a city school board election, the city school board candidates can run as a party affiliation, but not the alderman?
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is a fact. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually take that on.
Yeah.
And so we're going to take that on in federal court. So that's the next action, and they'll be going on simultaneously, probably with different judges.
Mhm.
But we're going to take that on, because if you're going to allow partisan candidates in races in the city, why are you discriminating against an alderman but allowing a city school board member? How's that? How does that work?
Yeah, I think we need clarity overall across the board. And I think the way everything is nowadays with allegiances or alliances or however you stand on the political spectrum, you either stand one way or the other, or you're independent, and they need to just go ahead and make that across the board. I don't know what the rationale was 100 years ago in the city charter. Whenever they developed that, they didn't want federal politics playing, but the federal government plays so much into our day-to-day life.
Well, it does. And, again, this is just my opinion on this, but we have an 80-20 electorate here. We have 80% of Warren County voted for the Republican candidate and has voted between 76 and 80% that way over the last 3 cycles. I remember when I was a kid here, I was raised out in Faulkner Springs. Man, if you were anything but a Democrat, you were done.
That's right.
You know what I
we
mean?
used to
If
be
you-
predominantly
Well,
Democratic.
that's it. But in my lifetime, I come from a family of Democrats. My grandfather was a yellow dog Democrat, but let me tell you what he was. What he wasn't. He wasn't stupid. He didn't believe in killing babies. He didn't believe in any of that controversial stuff that's going on. And he was America first. He fought for America in World War II. His sons did as well. And that's what he was. And so I feel like today's Republicans are the Democrats. They're the JFK Democrats. And so much has been conscripted within the Democrat Party. So, was it McCarthy that dealt with the communism within the United States government?
Oh, yeah.
And so I just personally feel that you have Americans, you have communists, and the communists are under the Democrats and the Americans are under the Republican Party. And that's the way I feel about it. And they're just hiding under the skirts.
And hopefully with this new run with President Trump, things can kind of finally.
It's going to be rough though. I'm really afraid it's going to be rough in a lot of places, and but it's a fight we have to have. We've got to figure it out.
We can't get better without trying to fix it.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm in the construction business too, so a lot of times you got to make a great big mess before you finish it up nice and tidy.
And
And a great transition.
Well, yes, because we want to give you some praise and a shout out for what we heard in the interview the other day. We had County Executive Terry Bell on with us and talking about the animal shelter. And I know everybody has driven down the highway and they've seen these walls, these concrete walls up, and they put them up so quickly and so efficiently, but I know he's been railroaded in that. But it's not because of the walls. And so tell us about your part in the building of the walls and the animal shelter and what you do outside. Give Warrior Precast a shameless plug. We're okay with it.
Well, it's not about. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with just going where you're led. And I tried to do that back when under a previous county executive, And I had some stuff already set up, ready to go. And the previous county executive, who it's like Voldemort, he was not being named. I'm not going to use his name.
Now.
But I'm not going to. You want me to say it?
No,
Okay, I'm not. We know who we're talking about.
We know what.
But I'm
There's
not.
enough shade.
Yeah, but anyway, I was ready to go over there, and then that individual stopped what we were doing, and I actually had equipment over there. We were getting ready to clear land, excavate, build a pad, so that was kind of ridiculous. But that was just a small addition. So what we had this time is they came to me. Blaine Wiltshire came to me and apologized really for the treatment that we had had been dealt to us previously, and said, "Will you not give up on us?" I said, "Absolutely not. I'm not going to give up on you." And so they presented me with some ideas, and I was doing a project actually for Wayman Hale out in Rock Island, and I told Terry, I said, I just did this big deal out in Rock Island, pretty large structure, and I said, you might want to come out here, and I told Terry to come out and look at Wayman stuff. I asked Wayman if he'd go and all that, got it cleaned up.
Yeah.
Wayman said, sure. So Terry went out and looked at it, said it's exactly what we need. So what you see there is a second version of another building that we built out in Rock Island.
Oh, wow.
And so it was, it just evolved from there. And we worked with the animal control director at that time, and I think that's the health and welfare committee that works with that. So we worked with that, and our plant did the drafting and everything for it, and we got it up ready to go. And I do feel like I'm partly responsible for what the stuff that's going on out there right now, because I really was supposed to put that in probably like March, and we were so busy, and we were having it was that last year was the most difficult operational year I've ever had. It's just people are so weird, and it was hard to get stuff done. So I ended up having to push that out, and I think I put that in June or July. And then there were some things that happened within animal control that caused some hard feelings, and then then all that stuff blew up. And Terry, as Terry is, I'm going to say this for no other reason, because it's the absolute truth. That guy is good-hearted, and he's trying to do the right thing all the time. That doesn't mean he's always going to be right, but that means he's always going to try for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is who he is. And I didn't support him in his race. I didn't at all. And I'm no offense to anybody else, but I'm glad he won.
Yeah.
I'm glad he won, because I've been able to work with him, and I know when I talk to him, I'm talking to somebody real, and he'll tell me the truth, and we'll move on down the road.
Well, I've been really impressed with the way he's worked with other departments. I mean, him and Sheriff Matheny's office are working lockstep with each other and doing rehabilitation programs for our inmates.
Yep.
There's a lot of good stuff happening.
There's a lot of things going on.
I'm excited of what he's done, because I didn't necessarily support him in the Republican primary, but once he won, and he's done a really fine job, in my opinion.
I agree. Totally agree.
All these different things. So, but he talked about Warrior Precast putting up the walls and how efficient you guys were in getting it done, and then all this other stuff that's drugged that project.
That's unfortunate.
It's like we said, and I like reiterating myself, because we're building a house too, and when projects are being done and you're getting all these different contracted out by whoever, whether it's plumbing, electric, the walls, all this stuff, you have got to get the quotes. And then once the quotes go through and that proves like that, the Warrior can do it. Well, what if something happens and you have to step out? Well, now we got to get 3 new quotes again. The process starts over and over until it gets done. And then when it does get taken, like with the plumbing one, those plumbers already have projects before ours.
Yeah.
And things take time. And also Mother Nature is not necessarily always on our side, because when it's raining, you can't get stuff done. It's just how it is. So we just need to remain patient and let everybody do their jobs, because everybody's doing the right thing right now.
Well, and I'd like to say this, and I don't have a dog in the hunt at all out there, but based upon the intent of the project and how that project was supposed to go, Terry has had every reason to throw his hands up and just say, I'm not doing it. Yeah. He's had every reason to do that, and he'd be justified in doing that, and he hasn't. And that they're and as a result of the circumstances out there, I don't know, but I'm thinking that it's going to cost the county an extra $1 million to do it the way it's got to be done now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, where does that go? That comes right out of the taxpayers.
Yeah.
You know, so there were some people that had some access to grind, and it's cost everybody. And the ones that suffer over there are the animals, which was a whole thing we're trying to help. My mom's a huge animal lover, and that was the one thing that I said to Blaine. It's like, I'm going to do it, you know, but you got to do something for me. It's the only thing I asked, and he said, I'll do it. And that's it. That was the end of the deal. So, you know, we did what we could. I'm glad we did it. Every time I drive by there twice a day at least, you know, I just look over there.
Same.
You know, I just go, well, you know, Terry, keep plugging. You know, keep plugging.
But I want to say thank you so much for coming on our show today. You are always welcome
Thank you.
to come and tell us all the fun, crazy shenanigans if you would like.
You know, since I'm out of this group up here at the city hall, that I still communicate with some of them, and you know, it's gotten very interesting over there. So I'm not coming. You invite me, I'll
invite you.
But
yes.
I'm not gonna. I will answer if asked. But other than that, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Well, with that said, thanks again for Stacey Harvey for coming in with us today. And if y'all have any questions, anything that he might have said today, you know, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll let him know. But keep it here. We're going to take a quick break from a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to have Chris Cope coming in talking about some border battles.
All right.
And always remember, Warren County, keep it first.
Dad had a vision in 1964 to start Ganton Bolden. Now it's Gateway Tire and Service Center. He wanted our customers to have the best products and service at a fair price. That was his motto then, and that still stands today. We promise to be upfront and honest with each and every customer. We'll never try to sell something that our customers doesn't need just to make a buck. If that's what makes us different from our competitors, well, we're just fine with that. Come see us today or give us a call at 931-815-9000.
Fall is here, and it's the perfect time for planting. Visit Randall Walker Farms at 8240 Manchester Highway in Morrison, Tennessee. From fresh plants to seasonal favorites, we have everything you need to beautify your home or project this fall. Available for both retail and wholesale. Looking for something sweet? Don't miss out on our delicious frozen blueberries. Stop by and see us 6 days a week, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. For more information, call 931-635-9535 or email rwalkerfarms@benlomond.net. Get ready for fall with Randall Walker Farms, where fall planning begins.
Looking to transform your home? Head over here to Roland Renovations at North Chancery Street in McMinnville. From stunning cabinets and beautiful countertops to durable LVP and hardwood flooring, we've got everything you need. Want to upgrade your bathroom? Check out our amazing shower systems and our stylish shower doors. Here at Roland Renovations, we also specialize in outdoor cabinetry, tile work, full remodels, and installation services. Stop by or call us at 931-743-5479 today. We are open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are closed on Wednesday, and Saturday we are open for appointments only. Don't wait. Revamp your space with us here at Roland Renovations.
Don't know what to eat? Have you tried Cumberland Biscuit Company or Tops Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli? Down on Main, you can enjoy pizzas and sandwiches, weekly combo specials, soups, salads, and finish it up with Tops Frozen treats. On the weekends, check out Cumberland Biscuit Company's unique dishes like the Twisted Goat Burger or the Bambushka Burger. For lunch or dinner, get the experience of going out of town right here in McMinnville, down on Main. Follow Tops and Cumberland Biscuit Company on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Are you ready for your new Ford? Hi, this is Chris at Reddick Brown Ford in Morrison, inviting you to come and visit our dealership with special finance rates on that special Ford truck, Bronco, or SUV that you have been looking for. Plus a great assortment of pre-owned inventory. We are proud to be part of the local community here in Warren County and now offer complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Your Pioneer Sports Ford headquarters, Reddick Brown Ford, Manchester Highway, Morrison. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Remove me. I want to remove you. All right, Ward County. This is Ward First 31. I'm your host of the show, Kelly Walker Slaughter.
And I'm Brian Carr.
And with us now, and by the way, it is 38 degrees, or now it changed again, 39 degrees in downtown McMinnville. And we want to say thank you to Reddick Brown Ford for being our community weather sponsors for today. But with us, like I said, we have a whole list lined up of folks, and everybody should know him by now, I feel like. Whether it's if you ate at Chris Springs Market, or whether you ate, you got fireworks, or border battles. I mean, in the school board. I mean, there's all these things. This man wears so many hats.
And baseball card official.
We're doing a little bit of everything.
Yes. But
Semi-retired, doing a little bit of everything.
Semi-retired.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Well, welcome to the show, Mr. Chris.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
And school board member on top of everything.
Yes.
So, yes.
So let's just get. the reason I asked Chris to come in is because I want to make sure we did talk about the border battles with Stephanie and Vicky the other day on our Pioneer Playbook, our first inaugural one, and and they were talking about how this all got started, and again, I just want to say, I still think it's so crazy how something negative turned into a positive in a matter of 48 hours.
It was truly lightning in a bottle last year. I mean, it was less than a week from the first talk of this until it happened, and it was just a great. Just if you were there, the excitement through that whole week was something was second to none.
Yeah, and again, but with that said, it's coming up on February the 7th, and I wanted Chris to come in and talk to us about it. The game, wear your colors, like all that, because we know how it got started, and now what is it going towards? How's it helping the other the nonprofits and things like that?
It got started, of course, off some little riff, a little. A little.
The only thing good in Warren County is Highway 55 and Prater's Barbecue. Let's go from there. I remember that.
A little county rivalry, and those that kind of got heated, and of course, as some social media does, it kind of adds a little fuel to the fire.
Right.
And Phyllis Prater, we all know and love her and her family, and what this meant to her. And she was the one that kind of got in the middle of this at the beginning and didn't want to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So it originally started as Praters were going to offer 10% off, or 10% of their sales for that day. We're going to go to Warren County to a special games, McMinnville special games. And at their Manchester location, 10% of those sales were going to go to Dream for We Foundation. So at the time I was at Chris Springs Market, we picked up, done the same thing. Morrison Nutrition, there's a couple other businesses.
And then it kind of just trickled down.
Then First National Bank come to me and said, hey, we're going to do a point pledge. We're going to do $5 per three-pointer, something at that time. That kind of struck, and people's like, okay, we'll do $1 a point.
Yeah.
And how that works is the points pledge is $1 per point. We're pledging to that each team, either the Lady Pioneers and the Pioneers score, we're going to pledge to McMinnville Special Games. I tried to get Holly to come in here today too with us, but she's busy. So, and we know and love McMinnville Special Games. They do such great work for our special needs community, not only just our kids, but our adults too. It's a great organization, and Holly has put her life dedication into that. Yeah. And if you're around any of that program and what she's done there, it is really, really great. So that kind of just jumped. We ended up last year, the point total was, and how this works, if say the Lady Pioneers score 50, the boys Pioneers score 50, that's 100 points. You would make $100 donation to McMinnville Special Games.
See, that's what everybody outside, and that's why I needed you to come on and talk about it, because businesses have asked me, how does this work? Is it $1 a point? Is it this? Is it that? You need it. Yeah, that's what you need to explain.
It's that simple. $1 per point scored by the Pioneers on that night. And what happened last year was, and that money goes straight. We'll leave Holly's address for her Venmo, and we don't touch it. You go straight to her. We have. And how that worked last year, it was a 75-point total last year between the Pioneers and Lady Pioneers. Well, Diamond Jewelry Company jumped on and said, hey, let's do a roundup. We're going to do a $100 donation instead of the 75. So we are asking people to join us in the roundup.
Yeah.
So it comes to $100 per person that made a pledge, and then it just carried on through that. And it didn't have to be $1 a point. We've got sponsors right now that are doing $3 a point. We had people last year that would do $5 for every three-pointer. We would do an extra bonus if the Pioneers win. We'll throw an extra $50 on it. So however you want to do that. Or here's the thing: if you got $5, I want to put $5 in.
That's it.
And that's it. Just to go.
Yeah, that was the other question. I heard a business say, "Well, can I just write a check, say for $100 and donate?"
And when this is over, we'll have the points tallied and have an address for McMinnville Special Games. Have Holly's Venmo account, and you can just send it straight to her.
Yeah.
We won't have
And
anything.
if you guys, if you or Holly want to send us that, we could put it on our newsletter, on our social medias too as well.
Absolutely. So in the game we just hosted Coffee County,
Yeah.
there was 87 points scored. The girls scored 41, the boys scored 46. That would have been 87 points. So it would have been $87 per if you pledged to go to that. Last year we hosted it here at Warren County. I talked to Josh and Holly Peterson, who is in Manchester. They run Thunder Radio and do the play-by-play for Coffee County. We have been talking. He's like, "Hey, can we switch this up every year? Next year we do it, and next year we do it in Coffee County. Now, 2026 we're going to host it in Warren County. We're going to flop it back and forth." And they raise money for an organization over there called Dream for Weave.
Yeah.
And it is a scholarship program for their high school athletes for underprivileged kids. So your kid wants to play sports but can't afford new cleats. Well, you can apply for this scholarship and they'll buy you new cleats or a new glove or whatever it is, or can't afford the fees to get in. Well, then this organization does that. And they used to do a radiothon every year to raise money. Well, now this is going to replace the radiothon.
Yeah.
This drive. Last year combined was almost $30,000 between the two schools. We raised $22,000 for McMinnville Special Games, and they raised, it was just an amazing night. And if you were at that ball game, you couldn't get in. It was sold out crowd.
Standing room only.
If you waited till halftime of the girls' game, you could not get in the game. They were turning people away.
So you got to get there early for the girls' game.
Yeah.
So this year we've been discussing this for a few months. Me and Josh Peterson, and we said, hey, let's do, since this started over a shirt, let's do shirts, and we'll do the same shirt in Coffee County. We have red shirts. Warren County have blue shirts. And we'll sell shirts. So our deadline is just passed on the shirts.
We did say that yesterday was Sunday was it.
I did order a few extras whenever I get them in and start getting them going. I will have some extras, and they will be $20 a piece, and all that money goes straight to special game.
And that will be a first come, first serve, guys.
Yeah,
just so you know, not to hurt no feelings.
But even at the ball game last night, I had some people come, hey, can I still get a shirt? I was like, I ordered extra, so I wrote them down, and I will have, a couple of dozen extra, hopefully.
Okay.
So with that being said, we kid each other. I stay in contact with Josh and Holly up there, and they do a morning show as well. And it's kind of, we're trying to keep this thing going and get a little spirits up in it.
Yeah.
So I come up with this idea that we want to paint the patch blue. Now their gym is called the Patch. Name, that's their nickname. Like we have the dog, but they have the patch. And so I wanted to paint the patch blue. So our colors were blue. We're doing blue shirts, so we want everybody that's coming to Coffee County on February 7th to wear a blue shirt.
It's a blue out in Coffee
blue
County.
Blue out.
So they are now on Coffee County side on their media outlets are really giving us a hard time about this. It's like there's no way we're going to let them do that. So it's actually.
I mean, this is part of basketball, having the fun rivalries, the border battles, all this. I mean, when you graduate from high school, and whether you're in the student section, wherever you're at, I mean, these are memories you make with your friends.
Especially when it's Warren County, Coffee County, Warren County, White County. I mean, when we play Bradley Central, we don't have that kind of rivalry, or when we go somewhere else. But it's last night it was Warren County, DeKalb County. We have that, there's still that.
And Cookeville. I mean, that Cookeville has always been.
That was always a heated rivalry a couple of years ago.
Oh, yes. That was our year, and there was some arrests were made.
Right.
I remember that.
And
I did not get arrested.
We played Cannon County this last week. We wound up beating our boys team, beat them. Now, guys, they have a tough girls team. They've got one of the best girls teams in the
Coffee
state
County
of Tennessee.
I think they're top 1 or 2 in the state, and they're for real. And I tell you what, our Lady Pioneers last week when we played Coffee County hung in there with that girls, and they really put on a good show. Coffee County scored 80, 90 easy, their girls, and we held them to like 20 or 30 points at halftime.
Yeah,
and we scored 40 something on them. So look, our Warren County Lady Pioneers were really turning the corner. You can start seeing that in, of course, our boys program. 11 wins in a row last night.
Way to go!
Yeah, 11 straight wins.
11 straight wins, and and going back to the shirts, we do our cheerleaders will be wearing these shirts. We got them on board, and they're going to all be wearing and cheering in the shirts during the game. I've heard that Coffee County's coaching staffs are going to be wearing their red mortar battle shirts during the coaching.
Yeah,
I did talk to Coach Fish last night. He said I'm a little too superstitious on what I wear for games, so I'm probably not going to do that, but. It's okay, Coach Fish. We understand.
Aw.
And we'll give you a little.
Yeah, we'll give you
Grace
a
on
little
that.
way on that. I love
Absolutely.
that. Anything else on the border battle before we ask you the other
Right
one?
now, we're in this competition. We're at about 40 pledges right now. We're running about $42 per point. Last year we was at 183.
Okay.
We really need to get behind it. Coffee County's at about 100 right now. So I told them, hey, they're hosting it. They may be getting a little better than we are. But I did put a thing on them yesterday, and I told Holly Peterson they do a live broadcast every day. And if we win, if we get more points, or if we get more pledges than they do, she's going to have to wear a Warren County Blue shirt on their show live.
Oh, that would be great.
God.
She agreed to it yesterday that she would wear the
Oh
Warren
my
County Blue
gosh.
shirt if our pledges surpass their pledges.
Okay.
So
You heard that, Warren County.
let's get
let's-
those drives up. And if you want to participate, you can shoot me an email, find me on social media, just shoot me a private message.
Yeah.
CopeC@warrenschools.com is the easiest way to get hold of me. My school email address. It's easy to remember. So CopeC@warrenschools.com, and send me an email, and we'll put you on the pledge list.
Okay.
And give you the information when it's over. It's like, hey, here's what we're doing, and
Yeah.
here's what you go, and here's how you can send it.
Yeah.
It's all an honor system. We're not trying to handle any money.
Yeah.
Or here it is. If you want to send it,
Yeah.
you put it on that pledge. We're going to shout you out, and we're going to get you on the list.
I love it.
Pull it together here.
So as he takes off the border battle hat,
All right, now this is
That's
where the
right.
sheet starts getting hot. Right.
I told you to take that off. Last night there was a school board meeting, and I think there is especially for me, because I do go to private school. We don't do public, but some of my friends that are in the public setting, I think they're a little confused. First off, are we on the vouchers? Are we going to get on the vouchers? That's the big thing, is the vouchers. And I think there needs to be clarity, because I keep trying to tell everybody, no, there's 2 counties. We're not included currently in that. But then they also had what did you call it? Special session with Bill Lee and them, and talking about the vouchers. So can you and again, everything he's fixing to break down for you guys is on the YouTube channel, which is
Warren County Schools Television. All of our school board meetings are broadcast live. You can go on YouTube, go to Warren County Schools Television, go to our monthly school board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, at about the hour and 10-minute mark last night is when we pick up this conversation, because I had a couple of people ask if you want to listen to our conversation and us explaining it, talking about it, and how we feel about it. You're more than welcome to do that. And I encourage you to do that before you really start diving into your opinions. And this is politics. And when politics gets involved in anything, the water starts getting muddy.
Yeah, I
As
agree.
it currently stands, there is a voucher program in place in the state of Tennessee. It's for 2 counties. That's Shelby County and Davidson County. And I think there's 20,000 vouchers.
They brought Hamilton County.
Hamilton County, yeah. And these vouchers are some stipulations that you can take the money that each kid is assigned and apply that to a private school. And it has to be, private schools have some things. They have to be a level 1, 2, or level 3. Both of our private schools that are in, or of all of our private schools, all 3 of them, I believe, Cedars, Lebanon, Boyd, and Covenant, they're all 3 level 3 schools, so they're all eligible if this program passes. This bill will have 20 more thousand vouchers. Half of them will go to other kids, and half of them will go to kids with poverty level that are under 300% of the poverty. There's a formula on your income of how that works. And another thing we want to point out is our state has not yet moved that poverty level bracket due to inflation. So people that were making $50,000 5 years ago and people that are making that same amount, that poverty level for school funding is not moved, even though $50,000 is not buying you what it did 5 years ago.
Right.
So I really wish we would look at those kind of issues too when it comes to funding. But what this will do is you can take the $7,050, I believe it is, per student, take that, and that voucher will get you to a private school. They are promising, hey, our funding is based on our enrollment.
Yes.
How many ever kids we have enrolled in Warren County schools is what we get, how we get our funding from the state. They're promising if you lose students, we're going to promise you that you're not going to lose any state funding for 1 year. They promise, so I saw that comment today. Well, they promised you're not going to lose any money. They promised us for the first year we would not take away any money. Billy's not going to be here next year.
Yeah.
We don't know what that promises. What happens if we lose twice that many the next year and we're out? If we lose 10 kids, we've lost $70,000 out of our budget.
Right.
But we're promising we're going to reimburse that $70,000. But what happens next year when it's $140,000? That promise is not there.
Right.
So a lot of issues on this voucher bill that we discuss in length on it. And one thing that Dr. Swallows has said last night is, we're kind of tired of public schools always being the villain for political purposes. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
I'm a product of public schools. I don't feel like that I've been shortchanged anything. I feel like I've been fairly successful in life.
Yeah.
So I don't blame public schools for anything. My child is in public schools, and I have no issues with her education.
Same. I don't have nothing wrong with public schools, and I want to say why my son is in private schools before, just so everybody knows. When COVID hit, I had to choose between going to a private school that didn't follow the guidelines of government with the mask and then the virtual learning, or go to the public schools and those. My son was going into kindergarten.
Right.
I felt as a parent, and nothing against what the virtual learning did, I felt as a parent, because I had learning disabilities when I was his age, that I didn't want him to miss out. And he didn't listen to me already as a parent. Why is he going to listen to me on virtual learning as his teacher? Right. Yeah. So I decided to go to Covenant, and that's where we've been this whole entire time.
That works for you.
And it works for us.
Absolutely. And here's the thing we expressed last night. Nobody's afraid of competition.
No.
I think every parent should have a choice in where their kid's education. That should be first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's scared of competition. Again, I've been in business for 25 years here in Warren County. I am not afraid of competition.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty come and go.
Yep.
And that only makes me better. But the way this bill is set up, if you are a Covenant, for example, and you're privately funded, so now you're going to accept state dollars because you're going to get this voucher money. Are there going to be strings attached to that state dollar? Tell me one tax dollar, state money, federal money that does not have a string attached. And it already does, because now they're going to say, if your child takes this voucher and goes to Covenant, you're going to have to go through a state standardized test now to make sure.
See, that's what I was wondering. Okay.
Now, it may not be the TCAP test, and it may not, but there's going to have to be a standardized, some sort of state verified test. So that was one of the things of private school. We don't have the same standards.
That's correct.
You're comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah.
You take my kid who has to have the TCAP, and they do all the testing and all the scores, and we're compounded with all this information of test scores and rubrics and all this stuff. I could take her out of that and put her into a private school, and she doesn't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
So we look, oh, this is great. We don't have a choice in public school. So we do not have that choice. And here's another thing. If my kid is, say, has a 504 plan or an IEP, or has a special needs, or maybe just some behavioral issues, or is slow, maybe needs some help in their speech, and I take that voucher, so I want to go to this private school. Here, that private school says, no, we don't want your kid, because your kid's going to, we don't have the needs to facilitate your kids.
The special, the classes.
So they have the option of rejecting that kid. We don't have that option in public schools. We take them all. We take every kid and take every single one of them, how they come, and we love them the best we can. And we have great faculty and staff that pour their heart and soul into these kids. And we're always, we look at the bad apples and we say, that's what we want to judge our public schools on. We look back, like when you look at the police officers, are there bad apples? Yes. So the opposing side wants to point out those bad apples and say, all the police department is wrong. And the same thing happens to public schools. Well, is every teacher 100% great? Nope. There's nobody in any profession that's 100%. But when we base our opinions and we base our arguments based on those select few that maybe not, I have a hard time with that. And that's where we came to the decision on this voucher program. And I said here, a special session is supposed to be called for what? There's only one reason that a special session should be called, and it is what? Brian,
to push a bill. To get through.
No, a special session by law is only to be used in emergency situations.
So that's what they're using this for.
2020, we had a special sessions for education only due to COVID. All right, this year, 2025, we're having a special session is for what? What was this emergency for? The emergency is for the disaster relief aid.
Yeah.
So when you start, then you're saying, oh, well, we're going to throw this voucher bill in with it's not tied to each other. They're separate bills. But for you to say, I'm calling a special session, the voucher bill is not an emergency situation.
No.
The disaster relief is.
Yes.
That should stand on its own. There's no reason they should not be able to pass that. They put this voucher bill up last year. They have a supermajority in the House and in the Senate, and it didn't pass. And so you're going to bring it back and you're going to put it on a special sessions and say, hey, we're going to do this.
That's the thing. They're trying to push this thing through. Well, look, and I understand. One of the things about Warren County, though, and if you look at our TISA that mandates, only 3.5 out of 10 kids can read at the minimum grade level in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
That's here in Warren County. The Department of Health and that's very low.
Okay.
That's very low. And then if you look at the Department of Health, they do a study of all 95 counties, and they look at different criteria. And it's child economic wealth and development, and we're ranked 80th out of 95 counties for our math from 3rd to 8th grade. We got a lot of problems in our school system, and we can say this, that, or the other. We can blame anybody, but one of the problems that we have said is it's because we have poor people. Now, I'm not for this bill any way it goes, because just like you said, you start handing out $9,000-$10,000, and this private schools say, no, we don't want your kid, or they jack up their prices.
That's happened in Davidson County already.
So if this thing was so great, people in these other counties, the Shelby, Davidson, and then Hamilton, they would have said, oh, this is the best thing ever. We all need to do this. So this sounds like a vanity project for the governor and people who are truly conservative. They don't want it either.
Right.
And so I see both sides. We do need to bring our standards. For me in Warren County, we need to get rid of some administrations. There's so many things our administrations don't tell that these people pay for. You look at our tailored specific programs like iExcel and iReady. Those are great.
Yeah, you were talking about that last time.
We use those to supplement our children.
Those are great.
But the thing is the school systems, the principals are not telling, and I think it's an age demographic. I think a lot of the principals don't know a lot about these things and how to let parents know, hey, these things are going to help your child out, because they've helped my kids out.
So we just got to figure out how to make it like a friendly, user-friendly outlet, right?
Well, and the thing is it starts at home. You can blame the education. You can blame Warren County Schools. You can blame me as a school board member. You can blame Dr. Swallows. If us as parents, and I'm a parent, I have a kid in Warren County Schools, Centertown Elementary School, it's on me to make sure that she is getting what she
100%.
needs. It's not on her teacher. It's not on her principals, and they do a great job. And it's not on the school system. It is on me as a parent. And we have those parents. We have excellent parents in this, but there's some parents we're not ever going to touch.
Yeah.
You go into these schools and you see where we're having issues with discipline problems, and you ask teachers, it's not that teachers don't want to teach.
No.
These discipline issues are the number one reason that our teachers are leaving the profession.
And circling back to what you're going, and that's why retention is such a bad problem in Warren County alone. And they can go over to Rutherford County and make more money, and we have no control over that. You have no control over that.
No.
But no, circling back to discipline, hey, kudos to getting the cell phones under control.
Yes.
I mean, we had policies, they just weren't enforced. And these guys put in policies that had a little better bite.
It's been, I just talked to Chris Hobbs on the way over here this morning, and he sends me the data every month. And I'm actually going to Coffee County this afternoon to talk to their school board about our policy and how we set it in place. And they're looking at implementing something similar. I've talked to technology conference in Chattanooga a few months ago. I'm going to be at Murfreesboro, Smyrna, a couple of weeks doing a conference for middle school and high school principals over this policy.
Oh, wow.
We really have led the forefront in this policy, and it's kind of controversial. There's a lot of people that don't understand. I tell you what, we were at our leadership conference, TSBA conference in November. Even the TSBA is not 100% behind a statewide ban on cell phones. And this bill is coming up. Scott Sapicki is bringing it up. He's actually reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to come and testify before the General Assembly on this issue coming at the end of this month. So it is controversial, but it works. We've got data right here. Chris just sent me a bunch of stuff.
Oh, hey, just
the discipline issues are dropped off.
Interviewing teachers. I've got tons of teacher friends. they've said this is one of the best years they've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's one, especially at the high school level and middle school level, which that's the middle school level is definitely my wheelhouse.
Right.
But they're having such better years, and it's just because of a change in policy and enforcement of that policy.
Yeah, it's been a really, and the key thing that's come out of it, it's a game changer, and that's what Chris said. It's been a game changer at the whole environment of Warren County High School.
That's great.
And you know, these kids are loving it. I tell you what, at the beginning, the kids, I knew kids at the high school, and they're like, give me dirty looks. But now when I talk to them, it's like, man, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. I don't have to listen. I don't have to get 20 texts from my mom saying, what do you want for dinner tonight? In the middle, you know, or I'm out here talking to my friends. I went a couple of weeks ago, went out there and just went in the hallway. And I was like, man, these kids are just interacting. They're cutting up. They're talking. And talking to some of the monitors. They're like, you know, this is great. It's so loud in here. And, you know, it's great.
Yeah, I love it.
The cafeteria staff says, man, it's great to see these kids just interact. And
like you should be.
Like we should be, because that's what we
This
are. We
is
are
not-
created to be social beings.
Yes.
Not social media beings.
No.
But the data and the research, as we looked through years and years of research on this, was with our access to social media and our access to the internet, our kids, the more information we have, the higher their anxiety and the higher our depression rates are going in our teenagers.
Yeah.
And we're keep throwing things at the symptoms. We're not trying to deal with the problem.
I agree. Well, anything else before we have to let you go and cut to break?
And
Thank you guys for
Thanks for
having me out.
joining the hot
Yes,
seat.
yeah, thank you for-
Yeah, it is. nice and warm
Literally,
here.
yeah.
I
You
do
see how he's
appreciate
got that pretty light.
Right. Border battle though. Let's get the pledges in on that.
Yes. Let's
Come on,
get
Warren County,
up.
You can do this. You can do this.
Let's get somebody from
Absolutely.
Coffee County to wear that Warren County
All right.
jersey.
Hey, let's paint the patch blue
Yes.
and steal their girlfriends.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. But with that, keep it here at Ward First 931.
Dad had a vision in 1964 to start Ganton Bolden. Now it's Gateway Tire and Service Center. He wanted our customers to have the best products and service at a fair price. That was his motto then, and that still stands today. We promise to be upfront and honest with each and every customer. We'll never try to sell something that our customers doesn't need just to make a buck. If that's what makes us different from our competitors, well, we're just fine with that. Come see us today or give us a call at 931-815-9000.
Fall is here, and it's the perfect time for planting. Visit Randall Walker Farms at 8240 Manchester Highway in Morrison, Tennessee. From fresh plants to seasonal favorites, we have everything you need to beautify your home or project this fall. Available for both retail and wholesale. Looking for something sweet? Don't miss out on our delicious frozen blueberries. Stop by and see us 6 days a week, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. For more information, call 931-635-9535 or email rwalkerfarms@benlomond.net. Get ready for fall with Randall Walker Farms, where fall planning begins.
Looking to transform your home? Head over here to Roland Renovations at North Chancery Street in McMinnville. From stunning cabinets and beautiful countertops to durable LVP and hardwood flooring, we've got everything you need. Want to upgrade your bathroom? Check out our amazing shower systems and our stylish shower doors. Here at Roland Renovations, we also specialize in outdoor cabinetry, tile work, full remodels, and installation services. Stop by or call us at 931-743-5479 today. We are open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are closed on Wednesday, and Saturday we are open for appointments only. Don't wait. Revamp your space with us here at Roland Renovations.
Don't know what to eat? Have you tried Cumberland Biscuit Company or Tops Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli? Down on Main, you can enjoy pizzas and sandwiches, weekly combo specials, soups, salads, and finish it up with Tops Frozen treats. On the weekends, check out Cumberland Biscuit Company's unique dishes like the Twisted Goat Burger or the Bambushka Burger. For lunch or dinner, get the experience of going out of town right here in McMinnville, down on Main. Follow Tops and Cumberland Biscuit Company on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Are you ready for your new Ford? Hi, this is Chris at Reddick Brown Ford in Morrison, inviting you to come and visit our dealership with special finance rates on that special Ford truck, Bronco, or SUV that you have been looking for. Plus a great assortment of pre-owned inventory. We are proud to be part of the local community here in Warren County and now offer complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Your Pioneer Sports Ford headquarters, Reddick Brown Ford, Manchester Highway, Morrison. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Steve.
I don't know.
Oh, we're on live now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're on live now.
I don't know why you have me on here, Brian. You know as much about it as I do.
Well, you are
Oh,
like
but-
the El Capitan is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
Yes.
I'm the incoming president.
Yeah,
Oh,
look,
okay.
we shoot for the top. We just had Chris Cope. Before that, we had Stacey Harvey, and now we have Miss Freda Clifton from the Master Garden, who is the incoming president. Warren County, thank you guys for tuning in with us today.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited to be here. I am. But I have really been interested in your two previous guests. So
Yeah, she seemed like really in
yeah,
it.
I was
like,
because
yeah.
I taught for 41 years, and I like 31 in the public school and 10 in a private school. So I've heard this voucher issue forever. But he's so right about it. If you receive that voucher money, then your private school is going to have to abide by state regulations. And that's one thing we fought really hard for, because I helped to build the school too. I was on the board, and we fought really hard to stay away from federal and state funds, because there's so many things that go along with that we didn't like. You know?
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on the board. And I will say this right now, as a parent of a private student, I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's like I said last time when we had Representative Paul Sherrill on, when we were at TCAT last week, I told him, I'm like, I like how we have school choice. I made the choice to put my child in private school setting. So I am taking on that responsibility to pay for that tuition. I will say this till I'm black and blue in the face, because that's the difference to me. And I'll say this again, there's nothing wrong with public schools. It's just, now that my son has been at Covenant, he's been at Covenant, actually, I'll just be honest with you guys, since he was a baby, 6 weeks old. Mm-hmm. And so, but by the time, his kindergarten hit, it was 2020, COVID hit, had to make a decision. And so we've stayed there since then. And, and he has gotten, I do also like how he's gotten a great friendship circle that is concrete and solid. And then I also like how the classrooms are a lot smaller than public school settings still to this day. And that's nothing bad. There's probably, I think we're up to, 12 students per class. Mm-hmm. And that's not a bad ratio,
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
And I feel like they get, I'm not saying that they don't get one-on-one attention at public schools. I do feel that they do get more at private schools right now for me.
Yeah, the most I ever had in a class was, and I taught 3rd and 4th grade, except for 1 year at kindergarten. And I said, I don't know how to do kindergarten. Don't let me teach that again.
Yeah.
But I told my children, I said, do you know how many times I talk to you one-on-one a day? At least 3 times. Mm-hmm. They came to my desk in the morning with their homework. I was able to grade it right then. I was able to tell them, help them with any difficulty that they had. They would come in the middle of the day, and they could come at the end of the day, with their assignments written down. I said in public school, I had 25 or between 20 and 25 students in a class. The most I ever had was 32. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have time to do that. So they didn't know, how blessed they were really to have that one-on-one attention. It makes all the difference in the world.
I agree. So this is your special guest. You tell me all about Master Gardening.
Okay, well, listen. So with the weather warming up and the Master Gardeners, they generally have 2 classes a year. Is that the way it works? Because I remember I started mine last year in January.
No, they have 10 to 12 classes.
Okay.
So they're starting tonight. The first class is entomology and pest control. And I forget the lady's name. I have to write it down. But she's a doctor, Carla Adesso, from TSU Nursery Research Center. And the classes last 2 hours. They're always on a Thursday night. And the class is full. I mean,
it's already full.
The whole session is
wow. Well, that was my big reason. I didn't know if the session was full or not. But the thing is, I wanted to make sure that people knew about it. So if you weren't full, you could get a few stragglers to come in. But wow,
that's awesome.
Now, tell the folks about what this program is about and why it got started and what the Master Gardeners do here in Warren County.
Okay, well, the list is very
I know that's
long.
a lot.
And I've not been involved with each individual program, but most people think of us as we go to the farmers market, we have our plant sale, we work the autumn street fair, and that's mostly, to get new members and to get people interested in taking the course. You have to take the course to be a Master Gardener. You have to take this 10 to 12 sessions. I think this year it's just 10. And we have such a wealth of authorities in Warren County.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the county that I came from, I had been on a list to take Master Gardener classes for several years, and we never could make enough people to have a class.
Yeah.
And I came to Warren County, so that was like number one priority. I wanted to go through the Master Gardener program and got in right away. And then we have all these doctors of this and doctors of that, and all these experts, it's just really so interesting. And our local nursery people are so willing to help. And I think the second one is on daylilies. There are classes on daylilies. And so it's all, so we have fruit trees, we have invasive plant control. We have all of these kind of things taught in these sessions. And I didn't bring the book because it's hard to carry, but you get a book when you take these classes.
It's a huge
book. Like this thick. And
you don't want to get whacked with it.
Yeah, it's got like 12 or 14 little books inside of it, and so it's basically just a reference for anything you want to do, whether it's soil chemistry, technology, that kind of thing. Landscaping is all covered in these sessions. So we have a lot of people that go through the Master Garden classes, but they don't join the association. And I am president of the association. We have around 50 members right now, 50 active members, and they do so many things. They landscape the public library here, the Magnus Library. They landscape the Black House. They landscape the houses that are built with Habitat for Humanity. They keep up our local trails. Our big trail is one. They work with the middle school to help teach the children and to maintain, the plantings and things there, which is wonderful because it's like an outdoor science class. I loved having that when I taught school.
Thank you, Mary Payne.
Yes, Mary Payne is in charge of that. And we also work at Dibble School. We have, there's years ago, I'm not sure which company, and it may have been more than one, donated the money to build like raised gardens. So they have like, a half a dozen or more of those that we're going out there, and different volunteers are going out and working to clean them up because they got in pretty bad repair there for a while and plant them. And so there's more outdoor classes going on there. Junior Master Gardeners, 4-H. There's just so many things.
The fair.
And we haven't even mentioned the fair. There's 2 months dedicated totally to landscaping at the fair and taking care of our buildings that we have there, and just answering questions. One of the fun things that I did when I first got into this was I worked at Lowe's with another Master Gardener, and we set up a table. And we do this every year, usually in the springtime when people are coming in, to get their plants for planting. And it's called Ask a Master Gardener. And so it's amazing how many people would come through and they say, okay, is this plant good for here? We have a lot of new people that maybe hadn't gardened before, or lived in this area before, and say, oh, is this a good one? Or they would ask us all kinds of questions. Well, my tomatoes aren't producing. What do I need to do? Blah, 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 blah. So, we had some knowledge, but we also had that huge book to look at, to help with that as well. So it's been fun. And I think, to go on with the association, we like to encourage our new students, our new graduates, to come. And we do have a meeting in April where they actually get their diploma, so to speak, and then we try to get them to join. The dues to be in the association are only like $20 a year, very minimal.
That's not bad.
And we have a meeting every third Thursday night. Usually it's at the Magnolia Room at the administration building. And we have people who present a program of some sort. And those are always very interesting. And we always have food. There's food everywhere.
Come hungry.
Food. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I was really just dumbstruck with, is that Mr. Heath and all of them that were putting on the class, there was all this food, and it's not just some chips or something like that. This is good food. They always good. And what good is it if you can't enjoy what you grow? So a lot of it's fresh food, especially during the summertime and fall, whenever the sun comes in. But Miss Freda, this is an extension of the University of Tennessee's Department of Agriculture, the Institute of Agriculture. So, and they have different county or different location clubs where this is the Master Gardeners of Warren County.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. And they, they have certain guidelines we have to stay because it is a 501c3, and so we don't really make any profit. All the money that we do have goes to these different projects that we have.
Now, what is your favorite part about Master Gardeners?
Well, I think learning because, of just learning about all these things. When I first moved back here, I had the 87-acre farm that I inherited from my family. And my dream was to have 80 acres of woods and 7 acres of wildflowers for pollinators. So that's my real interest is in the pollinators. I had beekeeper's course, but since then I've learned how difficult it is to keep them, and I want to travel, so I don't want to have to be tied down by my bees. But I do. The zebra swallowtail is the state butterfly, and that's the primary one that I would like to attract to my pollinator fields. So I try to make sure that I have the right trees, the right host plants, the right nectar plants, for my butterflies. So. And so the association helps with all that, helps to teach me and educate me and helps me to see the ins and outs of all those things and just meeting the people. I have really, really enjoyed making acquaintance with so many people. And we have people in Master Gardener from all kinds of different areas that have moved here or maybe like me that grew up here and then went away and came back, so it's been fun. I really enjoy that.
I love it.
I enjoy the fellowship.
Yes, there is a lot of fellowship. And again, like she said, whenever there's food, there's always fellowship.
Yeah,
whenever there's fellowship, there's usually always food.
Oh, and we furnish food for the students that are taking the classes too. Tonight we're going to have tomato soup and sandwiches and all kinds of things to go with that. So.
Love it.
Well, you lucky folks that are taking the class tonight, and it's already filled up.
And it lasts from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it's a 2-hour class. So it's right at the middle of supper time. So
you got to
call it supper, by the way. And so you got to have food. Yeah,
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And
this has been the best segment because this is like the least controversial.
Really?
But in the world that everything has been going on today, even our fun thing is a controversy about a border battle against the Coffee County Red Raiders. So
when you look around the city, a lot of the county, a lot of the things you see are the results of Master Gardeners just volunteering their time and getting out here because they love to dig in the dirt and they love to see the things grow,
Now, before we let you go, is there like a number or how can they get in contact with you guys?
When you call the U2 Extension office, and I have that number, I think, on here someplace, maybe. 931-473-8484.
Okay. And you can also follow them on Facebook as well, I see.
That's right. Yes. WCMGA Master Gardeners is on Facebook.
Okay.
We'll post the links to those on our Facebook.
We will. But thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome.
This was fun. We saw her yesterday when we were walking around the mall yesterday. And I hated it, but I hope you had a great time with your grandson on the phone.
I did. He's real anxious to move back from Houston to Tennessee.
Aww, tell him to come back here.
I'm trying to purchase more property so I can say, here's your acreage.
Hey, whatever you can do, right? Whatever you can do. But with that, keep it here. We got a couple more things we're going to talk about on the show and then call it a day. But keep it here at Warren First 931.
My dad had a vision in 1964 to start Ganton Bolden. Now it's Gateway Tire and Service Center. He wanted our customers to have the best products and service at a fair price. That was his motto then, and that still stands today. We promise to be upfront and honest with each and every customer. We'll never try to sell something that our customers doesn't need just to make a buck. If that's what makes us different from our competitors, well, we're just fine with that. Come see us today or give us a call at 931-815-9000.
Fall is here, and it's the perfect time for planting. Visit Randall Walker Farms at 8240 Manchester Highway in Morrison, Tennessee. From fresh plants to seasonal favorites, we have everything you need to beautify your home or project this fall. Available for both retail and wholesale. Looking for something sweet? Don't miss out on our delicious frozen blueberries. Stop by and see us 6 days a week, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. For more information, call 931-635-9535 or email rwalkerfarms@benlomond.net. Get ready for fall with Randall Walker Farms, where fall planning begins.
Looking to transform your home? Head over here to Roland Renovations at North Chancery Street in McMinnville. From stunning cabinets and beautiful countertops to durable LVP and hardwood flooring, we've got everything you need. Want to upgrade your bathroom? Check out our amazing shower systems and our stylish shower doors. Here at Roland Renovations, we also specialize in outdoor cabinetry, tile work, full remodels, and installation services. Stop by or call us at 931-743-5479 today. We are open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are closed on Wednesday, and Saturday we are open for appointments only. Don't wait. Revamp your space with us here at Roland Renovations.
Don't know what to eat? Have you tried Cumberland Biscuit Company or Tops Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli? Down on Main, you can enjoy pizzas and sandwiches, weekly combo specials, soups, salads, and finish it up with Tops Frozen Treats. On the weekends, check out Cumberland Biscuit Company's unique dishes like the Twisted Goat Burger or the Bambushka Burger. For lunch or dinner, get the experience of going out of town right here in McMinnville, down on Main. Follow Tops and Cumberland Biscuit Company on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Are you ready for your new Ford? Hi, this is Chris at Reddick Brown Ford in Morrison, inviting you to come and visit our dealership with special finance rates on that special Ford truck, Bronco, or SUV that you have been looking for. Plus a great assortment of pre-owned inventory. We are proud to be part of the local community here in Warren County and now offer complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Your Pioneer Sports Ford headquarters, Reddick Brown Ford, Manchester Highway, Morrison. Have you driven a Ford lately?
It's okay. Well, hey guys, welcome back to Word First 931. We are the host of your show. I'm Kelly Walker Slaughter.
And I'm Brian Carr.
And I'm telling you, Brian, today has been a phenomenal show.
Well, listen, we've had guest upon guest.
Mhm.
We even had our apologies to Matt Damon for not being able to make it on the show today.
I know, right? Right. And I will say this, just to kind of say this as nice as I can. This show is all about building us and lifting us together and walking one and one hand in hand. But at the same time, there is a lot of controversial issues that go on that goes on in this community that you guys need to know about. And if you have, I will say this: if there's anybody out there that has any thoughts or opposing this, or this is what they heard, you like anybody else over the weekend, because I did get a lot of calls about the midnight drop stuff. Mm-hmm. Please contact us at 931. And now I'm not going to say it. 305-0869. That's one way of getting a hold of me. And the other number is, I now think we have a 365-3050. And that's if I don't answer on the other, please contact us on the other number, because I do have an assistant that will now answer the calls and listen to everybody's concerns and stuff. But I'm telling you, we need to know these things going on in Warren County. There's issues that are, just being left unsaid. And I think that we need to say them sometimes. And again, I'm never going to be fearful of, the hot topics. Now, I don't like bashing people and things like that, but I am never going to be fearful of bashing or about hot topics. But with that said, there's just so much going on.
And guys, we're going to get to the heart of the matter. I mean, we may not know exactly the ins and outs, and it was nice to have Chris Cope to kind of explain some things. Nice to have Stacey Harvey explain some of the things that went on with the animal shelter and
making some light of the election commission's office. Not saying they're bad people. Susie and them do a phenomenal job, but I feel like we need some clarity and
And I think that's one of the big problems is that because there's been things that have changed here in the last few years, especially when we saw this with our school board members when they began to run on party tickets or run with party endorsements. And it's funny how just one word can change the whole effect. Just like with the schools and what's going on with the funding, we've got to make sure that we have some patience with each other and understand where each other is coming from. But look, we all want the best for Warren County schools. We all want the best for the private schools in Warren County as well. The beautiful thing about this country, and Kelly and I were talking about this morning before we came on air, is about having choice. And choice is a beautiful thing. Sometimes those choices come with strings, though, and I get it. So
I think when we have choices too, it creates, and I know y'all are going to be like, Kelly, I do believe that when you have choice, it's not as much chaotic as it would be. Because when people don't have a choice and they're kind of force-fed or force in the hand, that's when I, as an individual, and when I feel like I'm back up against all, I'm like, no, you're not going to do that to me. I will kick punch you in the privates and call it a day. That's how I'm going to, that's the note. Don't put Kelly in a corner. Because I don't like it.
Nobody puts Kelly in a corner.
No, they don't. Oh. That's one thing I love about myself is, I stand my ground. I believe what I believe. But at the same time, I stay humble. And I think it's amazing that people can have their own opinion. And that's what makes us so cool and diverse and unique. And, we're not all supposed to believe in the same thing.
Well, Kelly, I know I'm going to make some mistakes.
100%
I know,
me too, already.
But guys, please call us out. Let us know. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment on all the different platforms.
All right. Here. No,
join the text club.
Look at that. Now I can see
I'm
myself.
looking at the feed.
Yeah. Did I do it wrong?
No, we got cameras. Oh. Whoop,
no, there we go. I always have to make sure we got a lot of cameras. And again, we have been playing with, some new technology. So please bear with us as we're playing with the stuff and let us know. And thank you for letting me know when the mic feed cut off this morning a little bit with Stacey the first thing. So I fixed that problem real quick. But with that, we do have a fun rest of the week. We have special guests coming on the show Thursday and on Friday. Thursday, I will let you guys know I'm super pumped that we will be making a pop-in podcast at the Black History Museum.
All right.
And it's going to be me, Melody, and Brian at that one with all the fine folks there at the Black History Museum because, of course, we're gearing up for Black History Month. That is the month, one of the many things that is the month for February. And so I wanted to get with Mickey Gwynn and all them and talk about a little bit of Black history of Warren County.
Mr. Wolford.
Mr. Wolford, all them, So again, please tune in for that special showing at 9:00 on Thursday. We are going to be doing, or it's either 9 or 10. I cannot remember now. I put my paper somewhere. But please tune in for that. And then, of course, another big thing for the month of February is Teen Dating Violence a month. And so we're going to have some folks from Families in Crisis come back with us. I don't know if Christy's going to make it or not because her schedule changes on a dime. So, but I do know Missy Teleferro is going to come in and talk about what they're doing in Warren County and Grundy County specifically for our teens because it's just a great program that they have got going on. And again, I tell this to everybody, there's so many things going on in Warren County. And if you don't blink, or you're going to miss it.
Don't blink.
You're going to miss it. Because I feel like Warren County is like a child. It's ever so growing. And you don't want to miss the footsteps and the first words and the things. And that's how I kind of take on this, Warren First is kind of like that for me.
Well, that's what's special about this show is that here we are doing something that no one's really done before on this scale. And we're able to present information to, we're like the two broadcasters here on your television news network. They're dedicated solely to Warren County First. And so that means getting you the information because a lot of times I don't watch the national news. If they do have a story about Warren County, it's, I've probably already heard about it at that point.
Correct.
So we want to get the news out to you first, let you guys know what's going on, let you know that we're concerned about you. So please let us know what stories, what events, what things that you want covered. Check us, make sure that we're on our toes.
We check you as just as much as you check us. So that's always what I say. And, one of the things somebody was talking to me about yesterday, and I heard this, and I'm going to steal it from this person, is like, we keep it real. We stay humble. Like, if you want to know what Warren County is, this show is Warren.
Yes.
This is Warren. And so that's going to be the new slogan for 2025 is this is Warren.
This is Warren.
Yeah. All things Warren, this is.
Oh,
so
I like that.
But with that said, it has been a fabulous day. Thank you, Brian, for coming in once again and knocking it out of the park with everybody.
Well, thank you, Kelly.
Master Gardeners. I was like, see, I didn't want to talk because I know nothing. I know I'm a nurseryman's daughter, but I say this, but at the same time, I'm lucky to keep some. Now, I will say I have done great this year with my orchid, but that's an indoor plant.
Hey, look, that's a plant.
This
still.
is 2 years running, and I had a second bloom come off, and I had like 4 blooms on it this year. So, but I think it's going to die this year. I think it hit its life cycle. But with that said, take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. It is, again, if you have not, thank you to the window cleaner. Bravo.
Yes.
Cleaning up those windows. You can see that it is bright. It is shiny. It has created a lovely hot seat for our guests today. But take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, Warren County, keep it first.